So I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I'm back and I'm doing another video vlog for you guys. What's up, writers? I'm EJ Newkirk and welcome to my channel. This channel is devoted to documenting the process of my cyberpunk thriller novel that is a work in progress entitled The Blank Initiative. If you're interested in following along with my progress as I write this novel, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. And click on that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop a new video. I do want to apologize for having no video since January. I know I did say that I will try to do videos whenever I could, but due to various things beyond my control, it's been a long time since I've done a video, so I truly apologize. I've had a bit of a difficult time writing due to just lack of inspiration. My muse has been struggling or had been struggling with writing. And most of that is due to just having a bad storyline. A bad storyline and a bad outline. My first draft of my novel moved way too quickly. And then when I started my second draft, it moved way too slow. I found that I was dragging the plot along. But I managed to finally figure out my sweet spot in terms of outlining and planning my novel. So around January, February, it was really hard to write. I didn't know what it was, but something just felt wrong. Just the story didn't feel natural or cohesive. And I was trying to wrap my mind around, what it could be that was making this story disjointed and not cohesive. And as I was reading through the outline for the second draft, I realized that things were moving way too slow. And so I did some research about figure out what outline method would help me. So last month, I looked back and started to review my outline, and seeing how it was moving way too slow, I looked for different outline methods that I could use to help me to refurbish my draft. I first came across the 3-act structure outline, which was made by Katie Tastic. She talks about how she breaks her outline into 3 acts, and then each act is divided into 3 blocks, and then each block has 3 scenes. I'll put a link to the video right around here in the corner. At first, I thought that was a good idea, but then as I started trying to use it for my novel, I don't know, it still didn't feel right. Like, I felt that, something was missing. You know how sometimes there's just something that you can't explain. You know it's kind of wrong. You know something needs to be tweaked, but you can't really explain it. That was the feeling that I was having. And so I started my search anew for an outline method. And my eyes were opened when I came across the Save the Cat method. So if you don't know, Save the Cat is an outlining method. I believe it was developed by Blake Snyder. And it's normally used for screenplays. Someone found a way to use it for novels. So basically, Save the Cat has 15 beats. I won't get into what all the beats mean right now. That may be for a future video. So pretty much what I did was I made a beat sheet for all my favorite books and movies following the Save the Cat method. And I was able to see, these beats that were common in a bunch of movies and a bunch of books that I read. And so I made a beat sheet for my own novel, and I visualized it playing out as if it were a movie. And that really helped me to pin down what the outline should be and how the book should read out. And once I did that, oh my gosh, it was like a breath of fresh air because I was able to have an outline that wasn't too slow, wasn't too fast, and that it just read smoothly. I was like so excited to have this method and outline. With that outline, I was able to outline my book, and currently this second draft, I guess you could say, has, as you can see behind me, 51 chapters. A lot of changes had to go into this second draft because the first draft of my book only had about 35 chapters, and this draft has 51 chapters, and I'm only using maybe about 5 or 6 chapters of my first draft. There's a lot of new material that I'm writing, and so I'm kind of treating this like a first draft again. I guess you can say this is draft 1.5. So I'm just going to write out everything as if it's a first draft and then come back to it as a second draft later. Once I made that outline, I was able to figure out how to pace my chapters. And I learned how to pace my chapters from Dan Brown's masterclass. You know, Dan Brown is an awesome author. He's written The Da Vinci Code, Digital Fortress, Angels and Demons, Inferno, a lot of thriller books. And I took a masterclass from him, but I will talk about my experience with that class in a future video, so stay tuned. But one thing I learned was how to pace chapters. I learned how to break up the chapters so that the reader will be invested and that the tension is ramped up so that they would want to keep turning the page and keep reading. I've learned how to withhold just a little bit of information from the reader so that they'll have to keep reading in order to know what happens next. I answer some questions, but then those questions or those answers just lead to more questions. In addition to learning how to pace my chapters, I figured out how to give each chapter a distinctive voice per the point of view character. Now, this isn't something that I learned in the masterclass. This is something that I've learned on my own. Because each chapter is written from one character's perspective, I've learned how to give each chapter a distinctive voice. So what I'm doing is I'm writing each chapter from the point of view of that character in first person. And so once I've done that, I just go back and then just rewrite it into third person. That's helped me to figure out the voice for each character and make sure that each chapter doesn't sound the same. So as you can see, these past few months have been kind of a metamorphosis for my novel. Things have been switched around, things have developed, but I'm starting to learn more about myself as a writer and, starting to develop my own personal style as a writer. But I'll talk about my personal style and the changes that this book has gone through in the next video. So I'll open the floor to you all, viewers and my fellow writers. If you're a writer and you've had some of the same experiences that I have with writer's block or, struggling with your muse and about what to write, go ahead and comment down below the experiences that you've had. Until then, keep writing and I'll see you in the next video.